Well, greetings, visitors to the paper prison. This is one episode of the Comics Prisoner that I never thought I'd have to make because I thought I already made it. I thought I'd already made a video of the fantastic artist John Severin, but as I look back through the video log, I I guess I haven't. I think I wrote about him somewhere else on social media, and because I did, I thought I'd actually done an episode. And I knew that oversight had to be corrected toot sweet. So let's get started. I'm going to give a broad overview before we get right to the arts. I've read a bio of John Severin in the Comics Journal, and I can't believe in this article they said he was not particularly popular or famous, rather, that he was more respected by his peers than the public. I really find that difficult to believe. Um, he kept working and so prolific. He kept working into his 90s. He started, his first published work was in 1947 for the EC Comics, and would basically be everywhere, of course, in the adventure stuff, and then, of course, Mad Magazine. A lot of us in mainstream comics know him from inking Herb Trimpe on the Incredible Hulk, and then from then on, I just thought of him as a mainstay at Cracked Magazine, doing wonderful work. And I want to go back to these last two comments. Um, when I saw John Severin's work on the Incredible Hulk, I thought they were a great team. I always thought that he plussed Herb's pencils, much in the same way that Barry Windsor Smith plussed Trimpe's pencils on the Machine Man miniseries. I thought Severin really made it the high water mark for his run. But let's get on to what I really love about Herb Trimpe. Excuse me. But let's get on to what I loved about John Severin's work, which seemed to be best showcased in the pages of Cracked. Now, Cracked was always seen as you know, the little brother to Mad Magazine. Some the um, didn't like the humor, although on this page specifically, I thought the humor here was just as good as anything on the TV show MASH. But man, look at those likenesses. He was just a great artist. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I think they used him a lot, not in adventure strips, which I really wonder what that would look like. I think it would have been great. I think they did. I mean, every time I saw him in Marvel Comics, like Herb Trimpe's, Rawhide Kids special they did, or miniseries they did in the 90s. He was always inking, but when he did his, of course, Cracked work, it was always all him and incredible. And now let's get to a personal story about this page from Crack's Star Wars satire. Is that when Star Wars hit the big screen, I was 14, almost 15, and boy, I wanted to do my own Star Wars comics. And unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of photo reference for the characters. Um, Maybe there was, but at my age and where I was, I didn't have a lot of access to it. So often I would try to approximate likenesses of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia et al. From Howard Chaykin's drawings of the Star Wars characters. And as you can imagine, that didn't go off very well. But when I got to the Cracked magazine satire, as you can see, these drawings were a lot more helpful. Um, Also, he'd already done the translation. Sometimes, like I said, with the drawing William Shatner, how do you translate those features to line? Uh, Severin here had already done that work of translating the uh, the features to line, making that translation for me. As I like to say a lot, man, just let the work speak for itself. I mean, this is my channel. You're getting my opinion, for better or worse, rightly or wrongly. God, I love John Severin, and I love this work here. Okay, and I'd like to leave you with just one more thought. Um, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, man, Dave, these are great, but you sure do showcase a lot of artists that are very photorealistic, very representative. Why don't you do something like with the Panda Brothers or Kyle Baker or some of the more expressive artists like Bill Sienkiewicz's or guys like Gilbert Hernandez of the Hernandez Brothers? That's a very valid critique, and I am looking into that. So I hope things won't always just look like it's just one style being celebrated here. Okay, well, think I'm going to end it here. As I said, I'm still working on the Sal Buscema tribute episode. Unfortunately, I'm having problems finding the pages in black and white because the original art, some original art scans. Because, as I said, the conceit of this show is that I'm imprisoned in a page of comic book art. I could very easily, reproduce the printed page here in color, but it isn't quite the same. So let's see what I can get together by next week.